Okay, so here we have 1500 points of Eldar. The force is being led with Eldrad, all the bells and whistles as always. We have the Avatar as well making an appearance this time around. We have a squad of 4 Dark Reapers, including an Exarch who has Crackshot and Tempest Launcher, 5 Fire Dragons, and an Exarch who has the Fire Pike. They're coming in a Wave Serpent, which has Twin Link Missile Launchers, and it has an underslung Shuriken Cannon too. We have 10 Guardians with a weapons platform, that's a Scatter Laser, and 6 Guardian Jet Bikes. There's no cannons there at all. 3 Warwalkers, doing something different. They've all got missile launchers, so that's 6 missile launchers. And a Fire Prism, and Pathfinders, with the Rangers with the Pathfinder upgrade. And that's 1500 points.
Nurgle themed Chaos Space Marines. They are being led by Typhus here. He's being bodyguarded by my Death Shroud Terminators, but they're just regular Chaos Terminators, Power Axes and Combi Bolters. We have 3 Mark of Nurgle Obliterators. We have a squad of Havocs, Mark of Nurgle. They are equipped with 4 autocannons as they appear there. Troops, we have 2 squads of 7 Plague Marines. There's a Flamer in each. And we also have 11 Plague Zombies, because that's all the points I had. We also have 4 Mark of Nurgle Chaos Spawn. And to finish on, we have, I've recently finished, as in just like an hour ago, Forge Fiend. And he is equipped with just the 2 Hades autocannons there.
Okay, so here we have 1500 points Eldar versus Chaos Space Marines. The battle type is Big Guns Never Tire, and we have Vanguard Strike. As you can see, the Eldar deployment down here. We've got 2 objectives, one at the base of this ruins, one at the base of that ruin there.
That's not an objective, that's a paint pot.
Paint pots, objectives. Somebody forgot to bring their objective markers. And Chaos deployment over there, paint pot in the background there.
Paint pot 2 is hidden behind this building, but I assure you it's there.
And there's 11 plague cultist zombie things. Brains in the back there as well.
So now I'm going to see if I can steal the initiative.
Okay.
I'll throw it into this crater here. Here we go. I missed the crater and I also failed to steal initiative.
Good. Okay, so end of Eldar turn 1. Eldrad cast his psychic powers. We had Fortune on the squad of Guardians with Eldrad in them, and Guide on the Dark Reapers over here. The Guardians and Eldrad moved up towards the fortress. Some of them managed to scale it, not all of them. The Walkers moved about just a little bit over here to fan out to avoid any blasts. The Wave Serpent moved and turbo boosted up beside the side of the fortress there, and the Fire Prism moved up to get a better firing line. Pathfinder's completely out of range at this point, didn't shoot at anything at all. The Fire Prism shot its blast at the Havocs over there, hit, but the cover save that they took kept them all alive. The Walkers, 2 of them were able to see the Forge Fiend, shot their missiles into it. Unfortunately, I only got, well, it was going to be 1, but I only rolled a 1 on the armor penetration table. And the Dark Reapers shot into the Plague Marines over there and managed to kill 1.
The Exarch was out of range.
Exarch is, yeah.
Okay, this is the end of the first Chaos turn. Pretty much everything at this end of the table, they moved their full distance and then they ran because they had no line of sight and night fighting made it difficult. The Forge Fiend moved up into cover here and he fired at the Dark Reapers up there. He killed 2 of them. Their morale held, but they did get pinned, so that's kind of important for the next turn. The Havocs fired here, and where there used to be a walker, there's now a crater. And that's because it exploded, but the resulting explosion did nothing. The Spawn moved up, charged into the Wave Serpent, easily damaged it, got 1 pen through, and the pen was also going to explode. It wounded one of my own Spawn, unfortunately, but rather better, it killed 2 of the Fire Dragons inside. The Exarch is still alright though.
Okay, so end of Eldar turn 2. The Jetbikes came in from reserve, shot in at the back of the board here. The Fire Prism moved just a little bit further over the side to get a better firing arc. It then shot into the Spawn, I think I took out 2 of them with the...
The Fire Prism took out 1.
The Fire Prism took out 1 of the spawn.
Just totally killed
Okay.
one.
The Pathfinders also shot into the spawn, and they took out 1 of them as well.
Yeah.
The Walkers moved up a little bit and shot into the Forge Fiend over there. Unfortunately, not enough to... In fact, I don't think... No, I failed every single hit.
Yeah.
All 4 hits failed. The Dark Reapers over here. The normal Reaper fired a snapshot over at the spawn as well. Unfortunately, that missed. The Avatar moved and then ran just a little bit. I think I've got 1 inch move for the run distance up here. He's got Fortune from Eldrad, as do the Guardians, who all managed to make it up onto the platform and fired their missile launcher at the Forge Fiend, and it did nothing. So, last ditch effort to try to remove the last spawn.
They fired first.
We fired and took out 1 more spawn and then charged it and took out a wound and didn't take any back either, so that fight is ongoing.
Are there weapons, assault weapons?
Yes.
This is the end of Chaos turn 2. Typhus and his bodyguard moved out a little bit here. They shot to no effect at the Avatar. So did this Plague Marine squad actually, so did the Forge Fiend. They all managed not to do anything thanks to his rerollable save. The Obliterators also moved out. I chose to fire last cannons this turn at the Dark Reapers and killed 1, leaving just Exarch alive. His morale held. The Havocs fired, but the Jinx save of the Prism stopped it from taking any damage. And in the combat, exactly enough 6s were rolled to get through the toughness 6 of my last spawn, and he died. They consolidated 1 whole inch, so that's why it looks like they've not moved. But
Hooray! Okay, end of Eldar turn 3. The jet bike's turbo boosted over here, so I'm actually holding an objective. The Fire Prism moved just a little bit further over the edge of this hill, get a slightly better shot shooting at the Havocs. Not that it mattered, because I shot into the Havocs and still failed to wound. The Walkers crept up a little bit here with all these craters going on and shot into what used to be the Forge Fiend. Binky the Forge Fiend, who's now toast. He exploded.
sad face.
The Guardian shot at him before they did and did nothing with the missile launcher on there. The Dark Reaper shot his Tempest launcher into the Plague Marines and feeling no pain managed to save them from doing any wounds there. Fire Dragons crept up onto the balcony there, and the Avatar moved up here, shot, and the invulnerable save from the Wailing Doom was saved, and he failed his charge by 1 inch.
This is the end of Chaos turn 3. Starting with the Havocs, they once again fired at the Fire Prism. However, this time they were slightly more successful. They immobilised it, so that's 1 hull point off, and it can no longer move from that position. Not that it really needs to, because I think they're just going to fire at each other for the rest of the game. This Plague Marine squad moved up, flamered and rapid fired into the Guardians. Only managed to kill 2 of them, unfortunately. This squad stood still. The Obliterators moved up, as did Typhus and his Terminators. They all fired into the Avatar. I used assault cannons this turn with the Obliterators. In total, he had 1 wound prior to any combat happening. The charge was made easily. I had to issue a challenge. I made my Terminator Sergeant take on the Avatar in a challenge, so everyone else is just kind of eating popcorn. And amazingly, they both managed not to do a thing to each other. So that's ongoing.
Okay, so end of Eldar turn 4. The Pathfinders jumped their way down the building to make sure they're holding on to that objective. The jet bikes stayed here. The Dark Reaper Exarch fired his Tempest launcher with crack shot into the Plague Marines over there. And I think he took out 4 in the end, or was it the full 5?
Killed 4.
It was 4.
Guardians killed him.
The Guardians shot their missile launcher and their shuriken catapults at the same squad, and we managed to take down 1 more of them, so there's still 1 Plague Marine left. The Fire Prism shot its large blast up into the Havocs, didn't do anything. The 2 War Walkers shot up into the Havocs, didn't do anything. And the Fire Dragon Exarch uses 18-inch range on the Fire Pike to try and snipe out that last Plague Marine. Unfortunately, he rolled a 1 to hit. Didn't do anything. Over here, the Avatar just managed to finish off the Terminator Sergeant in their challenge, so that is still ongoing.
This is the end of the penultimate Chaos turn, starting with the Havocs. I decided to fire back at the Walkers for a bit of payback. We ran out of craters, so the Walkers have just fallen over, but they are actually both exploded and dead and lovely things like that. The surviving Plague Marine, he was not going to do anything else because we couldn't work out quite how charges would work against the fortress, so I just ran him behind here. He will probably still end up dying. Obliterators used plasma cannons this turn and fired at the surviving Dark Reaper Arch over there, hoping actually that they would scatter onto the jetbikes, but unfortunately we didn't. The Dark Reaper did die, however, so that's a plus point. In the combat, the Avatar issued a challenge. Typhus had to accept, so they are in a challenge. The Avatar did nothing. No wait, did he do one? No, I saved it. I saved it, didn't I?
You saved it.
Alright, he dealt 1 wound, but I saved it. Typhus managed to deal 1 wound back. I tried to activate a Force Weapon on 3 dice because of Eldrad, and I did a wound to myself. You know, that's what happens.
Okay, end of Eldar turn 5, the final turn. The Fire Prism, still immobilised over here, shot and finally managed to kill one of those Havocs up there. I've been shooting at them every phase so far.
Pretty much, yeah.
I managed to kill one of them with the large pipe plate down here. The Fire Dragons just moved over there just into a bit more cover. Pathfinders have done nothing other than holding this objective. These jet bikes have stayed still. In hindsight, should have moved them onto the other end of the board for Linebreaker and to contest an objective. Never mind. The Guardians, the weapons platform shot and took out one more Havoc at the top there. Eldrad did his usual Doom on the Terminators, and Typhus managed to, with his 5+, deny the Witch. And he did Fortune on his own squad and guide and blah blah blah. Over here, smash attacks with the Avatar meant that I took out Typhus. Strength 10. Onto the final Chaos turn.
And this is it, the end of the final Chaos turn. The surviving Havocs fired over at the Prism and finally wrecked it. So it is now gone. Pretty much nothing else happened other than I decided just to pile pretty much absolutely everything I had at this side of the board into the Avatar for fun. It's not even his Warlord, I just did it for the hell of it. So the single Plague Marine, the 3 Obliterators, they just all charged him. He struck at the Obliterators but did nothing. The Obliterators hit back and managed to put him down to 1 wound, but nothing else hurt him. So that's the state of it. We'll just add up the points and work out who wins by checking the rulebook and seeing what each heavy is worth. Because even if they do kind of scoring, they aren't necessarily worth a point.
Okay, so we went away and tallied up all the points. We have 6 points for the Eldar from the 2 objectives, 3 and 3. There was a point for Slay the Warlord, down here where Typhus was killed by the Avatar, and 1 point because we were playing Big Guns Never Tire for taking out the Forge Fiend.
Binky.
Binky the Forge Fiend.
Binky the Forge Fiend. And for Chaos,
we've got both objectives still held, the Plague Marine squad that did nothing the whole game there, and the zombies behind this building that did nothing other than hold the objective. And I killed all 3 of your heavies, which was the Walkers, the Dark Reapers, and the Fire Prism.
And you got First Blood for taking out the Waste Serpent.
And I got First Blood for taking out the Waste Serpent, which meant it was a 10-8 victory to Chaos.
I totally forgot about Big Guns Never Tire. Okay, so on to the most valuable players. Definitely for the Eldar, it's got to be the Avatar. 155 points, and he tied up a good 400,
yeah.
Good 400 points of Chaos Space Marine Terminators. Took out Typhus. One of the few times I've managed to kill him, actually. Definitely worth bringing for this match.
For me, I picked the Havoc squad as a whole because they more than made back their points by not only taking out all the Walkers and the Fire Prism, the fact that they were heavies was really a pivotal thing in the match we played. So yeah, the squad as a whole, definitely the Havocs. They did me well. They took a lot of fire from constant direct hits.
They took a
from the
lot.
Fire Prism. So yeah, they took a lot and they dished out a lot.
Anything you would do differently?
Kill the Avatar.
I would have rushed the jet bikes last turn, contest something maybe, and get Linebreaker in the process. Would that have been a
Actually,
draw or that
'cause
would have been a win?
You would lose 3
I'd lose.
for holding.
Oh, yeah.
You'd only gain 1 and rob me of 3.
Rob you of 3. So we
So
would
I'd
both
lose 3, you'd lose 3, but you'd gain 1. So you'd basically win because you'd only be gaining 1. So no, it would have been worse if you did that. If you had them in 2 squads.
If only you could combat squad.